welcome to Squad, your favorite source for everything esports and gaming. I'm Camille, and if you notice throughout the broadcast that everyone's a bit more glowy, well, it's because the one, the only, the Silver Fox Canadian himself, Rick Fox, is now following us. So our level of cool just went up a bit. So we're kind of feeling ourselves. Tonight in Unmuted, we have Marissa and Lisa going head to head, but the question is, who would mute the other first? I don't know, let us know your guesses in chat. Then in Esports in 30, AJ and Ron are talking OWL Stage 3, Week 3 with Paintbrush. But first, let's take a look at some new releases in the loadout.
I'm all done. Kaita-san, where's our guy going?
Yakuza has long been a franchise known for being melodramatic and very weird, so it should come as no surprise that its spin-off Judgment is pretty much the same thing. Set in the same world as Yakuza, including having the same explorable area as Kamurocho, Judgment revolves around an ex-lawyer turned private detective Takayuki Yagami. He's struggling to make ends meet before a case falls into his lap. A Yakuza captain has been accused of a series of gruesome murders. In investigating the case, Yagami uncovers a conspiracy that ties into both the Japanese government and his greatest personal failure. See what I mean when I say melodramatic? On the other hand, Judgment is an over-the-top brawler where you can brutally defeat enemies using martial arts. And just like the Yakuza games, there are tons of weird characters and side quests to complete, small mini-games you can take part in, and lots more. If you like Yakuza, this is very much a game for you. Judgment has a very deep world that is filled with things to do, and coupled with new detective skills, means that there are plenty of ways that you can interact with it. And if you're not sold on it just yet, there's a character in the game who is a pervert named Ass Ketchum. And if that doesn't make you want to buy it, I just don't know what else will. It has been over 10 years since the last Samurai Showdown game was released, and SNK is bringing the series back with a brand new fighting game. Samurai Showdown is a 2D fighting game set in the 18th century Japan. Despite the name, you don't only play as samurai, as there are playable characters from the United States and elsewhere. But it is still a weapons-based fighter, only where disarming your opponents is often a quicker way to victory than simply hitting them over and over. You don't have to worry about combos as much, as the emphasis on this is reading your opponents and looking for openings where you can land very powerful attacks. Seriously, you can defeat an opponent in only 3 hits if you're good enough. Samurai Showdown is designed to reward high-risk play, which makes it great to watch at FGC tournaments. What's more, SNK is planning to launch it with a robust training mode system that will let you fight AI-controlled ghosts of yourself that study your moves as you play. EVO 2019 is just over a month away, so why not check out Samurai Showdown to find out why it was chosen to be a main stage game. As the summer begins, why not kick things off with a game that combines cosmic horror with the mystery series of Sherlock Holmes? The Sinking City is exactly that, and it finally launches this week after several delays. Set in the fictional city of Oakmont, Massachusetts, players control private investigator and war veteran Charles Reed. He's come to Oakmont to search for clues to the cause of his horrifying visions, but quickly finds himself caught up in the mystery of the town's constant flooding. You'll explore the city's waterlogged and torn districts, which are filled with fish-faced men, unnatural green stone, and strange monsters that look like they're from another world. And while there is combat, the Sinking City is a mystery game at its heart. With each case you take on, you'll have to search for evidence and clues that will allow you to make deductions as to who or what the culprit is. However, most cases do not have clear answers. You'll have to interpret what the evidence means, which can result in different endings depending on what you choose. There's not going to be a right answer, and you'll have to deal with the consequences of your choices with each step forward. The Sinking City is a rare kind of detective game where you have to come up with the answers yourself. Coupled with its horrifying monsters and creepy setting, you've got a horror game unlike any other.
Oh yeah. Whoop.
Switch owners, you do not want to miss out on this week's exclusive. Super Mario Maker is back with a brand new sequel, and it adds plenty of new assets and tools for you to create even more levels than you could before. If you didn't play the original Mario Maker, here's the rundown. The game is both a side-scrolling platformer like classic Mario titles, as well as a game creator that lets you create your own Mario worlds. You can choose from a number of different Mario games to base each level's visual style and gameplay on, including Super Mario Bros., Super Mario World, and even Super Mario 3D World. You can publish these levels on the internet for anyone to play, but the only catch is that you have to be able to beat the level yourself before you upload it. Mario Maker 2 also adds in a bunch of new ways for you to play the game. There is now a co-op map-making mode, where 2 players can build a level together at the same time. You can also play through levels online, with up to 4 players running through each level simultaneously. However, at launch you'll be limited to playing online with strangers, though an update will eventually be released that will let you play with friends. There's even a single-player story mode, where you'll be able to rebuild Princess Peach's castle brick by brick. This is the biggest Nintendo exclusive in 6 months, and based on how great its predecessor was, Mario Maker 2 is a must-play.
Welcome to I'm Get Your Gaming and Esports Hot Topics, Hot Tweets, and the spiciest memes. I'm Marissa Roberto.
And I'm Lisa Dwan. We're going to present all the goodies we've gathered, which we will discuss and most likely argue. But luckily for all of us, there is a mute button that we each can only use one time when we want the other person to shut up.
Yeah, we'll see if Lisa actually drops it this time. Remember, we like it when you call us out when we're wrong and praise us when we're spitting truth, so let's get to it, shall we? Let's kick off our top stories with a look at esports contracts. Across every esport, players must sign contracts in order to play and be paid by the teams they compete for. But usually, those contracts last for either a year or 2 at the most, which is why Furia Esports CSGO turned heads when it announced that its players have to sign 5-year contracts. That means the players will be contracted to the organization until 2024. Wow. Lisa, what do you think of his contract length? I just don't understand. Like, do you think the terms of these contracts are a good idea?
I mean, I think the fact before when esports contracts were short, it represented the scene, right? It was very early. We didn't know what next year was going to look like. But now the fact that contracts are longer, it shows how stable this scene is finally getting, which is a good thing. Although it's rare, we have seen players in League of Legends like Bjergsen, I think, signed a 5-year contract as well. And Faker, we've seen stayed with SKT for over 5 years. So, like, you know, for the big players, this is like, we've seen it happen, but it's not common. But this is great. This is a sign that esports is moving to a more stable scene and people are willing to sign 5-year contracts, you know?
Yeah, okay. I'm only down for it if this is what the players want. If this is giving them longevity and giving them power and giving them, I don't know, confidence that their org actually has confidence in them, that's very exciting. Of course, I want that to be a thing, 100. But if this is a thing where in the contract there's a clause that, like, well, they can actually drop you at any point in time. We're going to sign you for 5 years, but the org actually holds all the power, so the player can't actually search outside of that until they drop them. I don't really like that so much.
That's fair. That's fair. I think it kind of works both ways. You know, players have an option. They're signed for 5 years, but, you know, if they have a better offer or if maybe their performance isn't as good, you know, both sides need to have the way to be like, listen, this isn't working out for us 3 years in. Let's find a new way to go. Like, that's just the way it should be.
Yeah, for sure. There should always be some kind of renegotiation clause put in there because, listen, 5 years is actually a long time. You know, they used to ask us that in, like, on career day or whatever it was. Like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Well, I don't know, man. It's kind of hard to say, especially in esports. We don't know. And people ask me that now, even to this day, in esports, honestly, I just don't know. I would love to say I do, but I don't.
I don't even know what I'm eating for lunch in like an hour.
That's what I'm saying. But dinner, even in the past 3 years of me covering esports, my whole career here has changed so much, right? And for you as well, you've been covering for the past 5 years, I think, too, right?
Almost 5,
Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly. And it's changed drastically from year to year, even from month to month. So, I mean, who knows what this means for these players? I hope because CSGO is such an incredibly long-standing esport, it's been good for a while, this makes sense there, but for other esports, I just don't see this being the case for a long time.
We don't even know if we're going to be alive tomorrow.
Oh my God, Lisa.
What? You gotta live each day like it's your last.
It's
Let's move on to the next story. The Fortnite World Cup is just over a month away, but players will be able to pass the time with a brand new tournament. Epic Games has announced the first official Trios event, which will be held from July 13th to the 14th. Details on the tournament haven't been revealed since all of Epic is on vacation for the next 2 weeks, but it will mark the third competitive format for the popular Battle Royale after solo and duos.
Right.
So Marissa, do you think having 3 formats now is good for Fortnite esports?
This is really interesting because now it makes me think, they have a partnership with Psyonix, right? Now they're doing trios, and Psyonix is and Rocket League is obviously a game that's played in 3s. So I'm just wondering how this will tie into maybe they're going to unleash a little Rocket League inside Fortnite Fortnite because they can now with that partnership.
What?
I mean, why not? A little battle of trios, but in rocket cars. Just a little food for thought, okay? Why not?
So that's the dumbest thing
how the
you've
Rocket
ever
League scene is
said,
working.
and you said a lot of
What
dumb
are you saying? No, think about this. Because Epic still is making its way into the esports scene, right? Nate is now new with Epic, and he's trying to build their esports scene. Now is the time to test everything, because again, Epic has FU money, so they can actually experiment with everything just to make something work.
But how would this actually? How would the game work with trios, Rocket League, and Fortnite together? Battle Royale cars.
Yeah, let's first see. They're definitely going to do this. Let's first see how the trios works, and I'm sure it'll be amazing. Let's see how that works, and let's see if there can actually be teams of 3 in supersonic acrobatic rocket power battle cars.
I think it's been done before.
Well, yeah, there's a game called Not My Car that's actually supposed to be coming out as well. But now that they have this partnership with Psyonix, why not take that power, because they can, they have it, and they've got FU money again.
This has nothing to do with Psyonix. You're forcing something to happen that isn't the point.
They're set.
I think literally,
5 years from now.
You had your bet.
Guess what? You had your bet. 5 years from now. It's gonna happen.
Listen, this is probably just they want to increase the players that they want in the tournament so that more people will play. Just like how, you know, League requires 5 people. So like, you know, you grab your friends so more people are just playing. They're just trying to increase the amount so that more people will be forced to play.
Isn't there a cap on the amount of people inside the Battle Royale game? Isn't there a cap inside there? It still is the same amount of people playing.
For the trio format, they're going to put teams against each other. It's not about limited people.
Yeah, but you still only have a limit of people allowed in the actual game.
Wait, so before it was 100, but now it's trios. That's going to be 99 people?
No.
How's it work?
Exactly. Yeah, it's gonna be 3 v 3. It's gonna be 3 teams of 3, but still the amount of player that can fit on into the game. That's all they can play.
Trying to save yourself.
No, I'm not. You're trying to add more people in the game. They can't add more people.
Yeah, why not? This is literally a chance to.
That's not the meta. Oh my god, whatever. Blizzard is finally adding a feature into Overwatch that should have been there since the game launched. Subtitles. A new update to the PTR allows players to add subtitles for in-game dialogue, including interactions between characters, ultimates, and voice lines. It still has some bugs to work out, but its inclusion has been well received so far. Lisa, first of all, it took years to make. But should Blizzard be doing more of this? I just was watching AJ and Ron stream yesterday, and AJ has the subtitles on when he streams, which I think is fantastic.
Great, more things for me to be distracted.
Oh, geez.
While on the screen. The game is complicated enough. Now I have to read a book while I'm friggin' playing.
Oh, Lisa, you're so selfish. This is not for us. This is for people who have to read subtitles. This is for people who are hard of hearing.
Reading? Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. Now she's quiet.
You're right.
Some people obviously need subtitles for that reason, right? So I think it's great. Yes, there are some bugs we worked out, because even as I was watching AJ play, it's very delayed, right? So like it takes a while to come through, but the fact that it does, and it's given more people, and is a way to include more people into this whole world, I think it's fantastic. Why not?
You know, I was just kidding before, right?
Yeah.
I was just kidding, guys.
She's like, hard feels bad, man. Let's just spam feels bad, man.
No, I was joking, but no, I agree 100% that this is a great idea. I mean, even people who don't have, you know, those issues with accessibility, like even like a newcomer to the game who don't really know the sounds of each, you know, ultimate or any of that, just having the subtitles there will probably lower that barrier of entry for just new players. So this is fantastic for both, like everyone. It's not just about the, you know, people who needed.
But this is like something that I'm happy Blizzard is doing, but obviously, I don't know. It's like one of those things where it's happening now. Why wasn't happening before?
Oh my god!
It's so crazy to think, because like
that's a horrible mentality to have.
It should have been a thing from the beginning.
But we can't go back in time in our little box and change the past. The point is that it's here now, and it's a good thing. It's a step in the right direction. Right?
That's fair. I'm going to now take this and run with it. And I feel like even for us in our Instagrams, like there's actually there should be an option. They have it in the States, but it's not available in Canada yet.
What is it?
That where we can actually, because you know how people are talking a lot in their like selfie videos. Sometimes we were telling a story about our day or whatever it is, and like you don't have subtitles there, and a lot of people listen or just watch the stories with the sound on.
Yes,
it's very helpful to have subtitles there. So subtitles just with everything is very helpful. I'm happy that Blizzard is implementing this now, and it just needs to be a trickle-down effect into everything we do, especially on screens, so everyone can be included.
I feel so sorry for that one person who's hired to do subtitles for stories, and its story is ripping.
It's gonna be like some kind of algorithm put in place.
I ate this today. That's what we all talk about in our show. Let's be real. All right, for our last story, Microsoft is cutting several jobs at Mixer and inside Xbox. The reason? It appears that Microsoft is shifting its resources away from internal content creation. Microsoft isn't cutting it away entirely, but it could mean that it is more likely to tap into content creators and streamers who work with the company and Mixer. For reference, Microsoft reported a 5% increase in gaming revenue last year. So Marissa, do you think that moving away from internal content creation is a good move? I mean, you're close to Xbox, right?
Yeah, the thing is, like, they have an incredible team. It's huge. They've poured a lot of money into, I don't know if you've seen the Mixer Studios. They just updated them too. They're incredible, like beautifully done. Even just at E3, like their crews, they had like 5 different mobile teams just dispersed all throughout E3 with like, and they're with the capability of going live with each team. I mean, incredible. And in there, they did employ people that were already creators on Mixer. They weren't Xbox employees or Microsoft employees. They were actually creators. So clearly they see the talent there and they're able to actually utilize that talent. I think it's amazing. It gives other people the opportunity to shine if they couldn't ever get in with a big company like Microsoft in the first place. So it gives their creators more incentive to create more.
That's exactly
and then they actually reap the rewards of their content as well and don't have to pay them a salary.
Oh, okay.
So,
that's a little spice there. Win-win for everyone, I guess.
It's business.
It's all about the money. Okay, but you know, obviously Mixer is having a hard time with competition.
Why?
With Twitch. Obviously Twitch has a
They
huge
just
monopoly.
launched like 3 years ago.
What? Okay, so you think it's going good for Mixer?
It's going amazing for Mixer. They have so many users. They make a lot of money already.
Really?
Yes. Oh my God. I feel like it's going great for Mixer. Far better than I ever thought it would. Like they've been surprising me year after year with how much bigger and scale they're getting as well, and how many streamers, how many people love playing on Mixer. They love the community. They love how inclusive it is.
Okay, so who's your favorite streamer on Mixer?
Oh, I don't actually watch.
Okay.
I don't actually watch Mixer. To be fair, I don't really like watch a lot of streamers on Twitch either, except for like Brody and AJ and Ron. Like I watch people that I know. I don't stream. I don't look for streamers. I'm sorry, like I'm guilty. Oh, and JJ Pokecatcher. I'm sorry, Seb. Oh my God, JJ Pokecatcher for sure.
Our cameraman's son.
Yeah,
can't forget him, guys. Go support.
But you don't really watch streamers.
No,
that's what I'm saying.
Anymore. You know what it is though? But I feel like we're kind of an outlier. Working in the business, like I watch a lot of broadcasts, like you know, Riot Games, all the other esports. Like we watch those. It's hard to find time to watch individual streamers. Yeah. But every once in a while, you know, I check out a Pokemon clip, Pokimane for those who are ignorant.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. It's Pokemon.
It's Pokemon. Okay, listen to her.
When we do it for work, we do it for work. But outside of that, we're guilty. So us in chat for Lisa and I. Okay. It's time to check in with streamers and clip it. Our first clip comes from Hellbringer13225 and his wife, who seem to have found his Tinder profile.
Get off your damn computer! Now!
What?
Get off your damn computer!
What?
You have a Tinder?
No, I don't. I don't.
An ally has been slain.
Bullshit!
I don't.
Yeah? What's this?
Your turret has been destroyed.
That's your Tinder, Steven!
Your inhibitor
Daniel
has
Red?
been destroyed.
Always down for a chat. Hookups are okay, but not required?
Excuse me?
Excuse me?
I don't have a Tinder.
Then what the fuck is that?
I don't have a Tinder.
Then what is it?
I don't know.
How the fuck is just leave you with a strip right from my eyes? That's a photo from a album, Steven!
You know what's best though? If you listen to the in-game commentary at the same time, it literally is like, your ally has died. Your turret has been destroyed. Like, it's literally reflecting what is happening to his marriage at the same time. But yeah, that's bad.
Oh my God, I have actual anxiety listening to stuff like that. I do like when couples fight in public. Like, it's entertaining, of course, but not when it's that level of seriousness. Like, that's a serious fight. There's two sides to this, obviously, because some people are catfishers, right? So they do use our photos to catfish on Tinder. That has happened. It's happened to Lisa and I as well. So, so I don't know, maybe it's not really his Tinder profile. Maybe they resolved that fight. I would like to have an update from this couple if possible. You know, just send us a DM. We're happy to help. Also, marriage counseling. Lisa and I are really good at that too. But I'm really good at it. And I'm okay at it.
You're right.
So, no, that's just so upsetting to have that happen. And then the fact that it was live on stream, oh my gosh, like my heart, my stomach, like it hurts for this guy, especially if it's not true. But if it is true, yo, you a dog. Yo, You in trouble, and you don't deserve this woman.
Honestly,
you don't deserve people watching you anymore either. Let's ban him.
The worst part is I feel bad for him because he's losing his game. He's probably gonna get reported for
Are you
griefing.
serious?
He's probably not gonna. He's gonna be banned for a couple days, and now he's gonna be alone. He's gonna be alone, divorced, and not have league to play. It's a really tough time for him. Though they should really call the wife Hellbringer instead of him. All right, let's move on. Next up, we have a clip from KBVE, essentially a liquor store that is streaming its surveillance cameras live. What a brilliant idea! But there's a twist. If you subscribe, you can control a text-to-speech robot. Results vary. Do not try this at home.
Your shoes are trash. They are red blood. Your shoes are red and from the Salvation Army.
Oh, that robot is savage AF. That was actually the tamest clip that we could find because everything else was pretty like R-rated.
Yo, these are jaw-dropping clips today.
Right?
In Clip It. My goodness, the scandalo, I swear.
How would you feel if a robot
There must be
ripped into you?
a sign outside. Like obviously there's always a sign about video surveillance in any
Yeah.
building that you go into that has it, but I wonder if they have a sign outside saying, hey, our cameras will troll you, or hey, you're on a live stream if you
We're in
enter
a
this
public
building.
place though. If it's a public spot, they have every right to do it.
Right, I'm just saying there should be a warning of some kind before you walk in saying like you will get savagely torched by our camera robot.
That's true. I don't know what the legalities of it, but I think it's a hilarious idea.
Oh, it's great. No, give us more of that. See, that's a stream that I would subscribe to.
That's
All right.
brilliant.
It truly is the best time of day when we scroll through the Twitterverse to bring you all the things the pros bless us with from their timeline. It's the best when they ask the really important questions for random internet people to answer. Rocket League Pro CJ tweets, what's a bladder infection and how do I get one?
Oh no.
Well, Cameron, let me tell you.
Don't tell him.
Yeah, well,
no, the graphic details, please.
I guess the best way to obtain a bladder infection
There is no best way, Marissa.
would be to hold your urine for an alarming amount of time.
Oh.
So much so that your kidneys and bladder, they just start failing on
Marissa,
you.
I thought you were gonna say
it's
sex.
It's a problem. No.
That would be the best way.
Okay, well, for women, that's why you should
Men can do
urinate.
it too.
No, but for women, if you want to prevent a bladder infection, you're actually supposed to urinate right after you've done the deed. That's actually true. You can Google that.
Yeah, she does marriage advice and health advice, guys, all in one.
Although bladder
Who needs
infections, and you
doctors?
should have cranberry juice if you have a bladder infection. It really does help. You should really get some of that in ya. Okay? I don't know if CJ actually wanted one or if he had one and he just wanted advice on how to get rid of it. But I hope that helps.
No, CJ, I think you need to delete that tweet and pretend it never happened because
No,
that's
that's
just WTF. All right, moving on. Our next profound thought is basically me every morning when I see myself in the mirror. All right, amateur Fortnite player FR Josh tweets, he says, who's the master of Fortnite? I am. What?
I am! Who is the master of Fortnite? I am! I don't think this is good.
No, I gotta ask you.
No.
Yeah,
No.
what are you saying instead of Fortnite? Because we all know you don't play Fortnite. What are you the master of?
Who's the master of these? I'm not gonna say it. These bees at squad? No! Listen, okay, it's scripted that I say this in the morning, but it's not true. I don't do that. Marissa's more likely to friggin' say that in the mirror.
No, but I did love that Words of Affirmation girl where she's
yeah.
she's in the mirror and she's so excited about her day and she's the
Do you
best.
do that?
No,
Do you
I
do
don't, but I
affirmations?
feel like we all should. I think it might help us just be more positive people in the day.
What would be your
who knows?
affirmation? What would you say every day to yourself?
So I saw this TED Talk once where it's like first you have to, because public speaking is actually quite difficult to do. So you're actually supposed to put your hands all the way up in the air to just to give yourself power. So put your hands all the way up in the air. I'm going to be sweaty, but
God,
put
don't.
hands
Censor
all
my
the way up
armpits,
in the
please.
air because it gives you power, right? And then you don't have to say anything at this point in time, but you also can close your eyes and just spell
feel
the
it?
word victory, in the sky. You can look up at the sky, you can close your eyes and visualize the word victory.
Was your TED Talk held in the alleyway of the city? Who are you taking advice from?
We don't need to talk about that. All right, now it's time for a little advice from pro Halo player Snipedown. He says, I go out with my wife and she gets gassed up by so many random women, it's insane. When are men going to be confident enough to tell each other how fly we are looking? Because I swear I'll be dishing out compliments to all my guy friends who have style, no problem at all. Seriously, yes. Why can't this actually be a thing?
You know what's nice though? I think in our producer room we actually see this a lot between our boys. Zurich and Matt are always like, man, you're looking great today. Man, did you just get a haircut?
Yeah.
It looks nice. We do see that a little bit, but I guess
Tyler. Did you get that from Tyler?
No, I didn't get that
Tyler
from Tyler.
says everyone says I look great all the time.
Yeah, see, he's more likely to, in the mirror, be like, I'm the master of Monster Hunter.
I'm the master of these boots. I look so lumbersexual today.
I didn't know that was a real word until you told me that.
Yeah,
Lumbersexual is a real thing.
That's a real thing. But I do want, if we can, please, we implore men to really compliment each other every day. If you see someone that's got great style, like, why not? If they misconstrue it and think you're hitting on them, whatever, that's their problem, honestly. Like, just, I love it when a woman compliments me. And it's true that women actually, when we're walking down the street, we don't check out other guys, we check out other women. It's just a thing that happens. We check them out for their style. Sometimes women are being girls and they're being haters and they're just giving you the up and down. That happens too, unfortunately. But for the most part, exactly. For the most part, just compliment. It goes a long way, just being kind to people.
Sure, the other day I gave a girl at the grocery store, I like her eyeliner. She's like, thank you. I'm like, you're welcome. See, that's a good compliment otherwise.
That's a good one.
She had really cute eyeliner. All right.
I like the eyeliner compliment.
Right?
It's hard to do.
She put effort into it.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on because it's time to get to some crowd control. This is where we showcase some of the great or simply dank things the community has been making. So I know Pokemon fans are super excited about the upcoming Shield and Sword release, but indie developer Kamato Tato created a web game that really sends a strong message. All right, let's see this. So, Pokemon Cutting Corners version. Gotta catch a few here and there. An exclusive behind-the-scenes look at how Sword and Shield's national dex came to be. Tap anywhere or use the arrow keys to get as much Pokemon into Sword and Shield as you can.
Okay.
All right, and then, oh, we ran out of time and resources to implement the other Pokemon. Sorry.
What?
Okay, so that was some major shade. So this is in response to the news that the new games won't include the national Pokedex, only Pokemon from the Galar region, and people are salty.
Yeah.
And that's what happened.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's interesting. Also, like, yeah, salty, I get it, because these people that are continuously playing, they pour a lot of time and energy into this, so they expect this from the developers as well, to give them that time and energy, or reward them for that time and energy that they're putting in. It doesn't affect me, because I haven't been putting that time and energy in.
You're not a Pokemon trainer?
I am, but not to that extent. I'm not a daily Pokemon. You know that I'm not Lisa. I play and I respect Pokemon, okay? I respect Pokemon.
I don't know about that. What's your favorite Pokemon? I'm gonna judge you right now.
Well, I always go fire type.
Okay.
Like every single time, that's always my go-to. So you know, Charmander. That's like my go. If Charmander's around, Charmander's my boy.
Name 2 more fire types. Go.
Well, I can't think of.
I knew it! Fake Pokemon trainer.
No, because I always rename them.
Oh,
Like
she lied. She lied. I caught her.
Or is Charmander evolve into Charizard?
You guys, F in chat. Let's ban her.
I haven't played in a long time.
I'm so disappointed.
Guys, don't hate. I'm old. I forget things. Okay. In our next post, really, Check Canuvov _V decided to take a Need for Speed into the real world.
All right, let's see this.
Okay.
So, have you played Need for Speed?
Yes, I have.
Tell me how realistic this is then.
Okay.
So this is the car selection process.
Yeah.
Yo, they edited this and I was very impressed. Look at that.
Yeah, it's beautiful. That's gorgeous. It's just gorgeous. Yo, is this real life?
Yeah, this is real life. It looks like a game.
Yo, this looks. Wow.
He even put like the edited checkpoints into it. Look, his friends
Dang.
rolling up in their car, their souped up cars.
How much time did this take? This is incredible.
It's so well done. And then of course they got a race. Let's go. Hopefully no one was hurt. They closed down this street for this, but
this is amazing.
Luckily no cars are crashing into each other.
Somebody's
Look at that.
obsessed with Fast and Furious. Somebody's obsessed.
Who isn't?
That's real. Oh my god.
Right? Look at that. Looks so good.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
When you can't even tell if it's like the reality or game, that's when you know you made it well. Good for you.
I love that.
There you go.
He obviously just wanted to show off his cars.
Well, it worked. Like, it looked good. Him and his
definitely.
buddies.
I applaud you, sir.
Yeah. Are you a car?
creative.
Do you like cars?
I'm not like a car, like, I don't know. I will appreciate a good looking car for sure, and I'll compliment it if it's an amazing color or it looks
compliment
fly.
the car.
I will compliment the car, yeah, not the owner. Like, the owner didn't do anything, he just bought it. No, but I like a good car, sure, but I'm not gonna like obsess over them. I don't buy car magazines or anything like that.
Oh.
It's not my jam.
Well, that's
What, you do?
No. I drive a Honda Civic. What do you want from me? Speaking of speed, in honor of Banjo-Kazooie's addition to Smash Bros. Ultimate, Milksteak decided to fuse together the Banjo Gang and the Speedyverse by Busta Rhymes.
When I come to doing this and I be banging on my chest and I'm banging the east and I'm banging in the west and I kinda give you more and I will never give you less. You will hear it in the street or you can read it in the press. Do you really wanna know what's next? Let's go. See the way we on it and we all up in the race and you know we gotta go now trying to keep up with the pace and we struggling and hustling and set it and to get it and we always gotta do it, take it to another place, gotta taste it and I gotta grab it and I gotta cut all through this traffic just to be at the top of the throne, but I know I gotta have it.
Look at me now.
Look at me now. Oh.
Paper.
Whoa.
Look at me.
Wasn't
Yo,
that
that was
insane?
awesome.
That was fire. We actually had to show the back half because there was too many swear words in the top half there. But if you guys want to see the full video, it is on YouTube. But we know how much we love rapping here. So Marissa, she's actually really good at rapping.
No, that's
Putting
not
you on
true.
the spot. Let's go. She might have been practicing all night.
No, I can't because I had to read the words. Okay,
ready? Ready?
Yeah, we tried a beat though. But you got no. Okay, it's
Was
fine.
that Mikey? We'll put it in post. We'll put it in post. Ready?
Okay, I gotta think about it. All right. Because I'm feeling like a runner and I feel like I gotta get away. But I know that I don't and I won't ever stop because you know I gotta win every day. See, they really wanna pop me. Just know that you will never flop me. And I know I can be a little cocky. You ain't never gonna stop me. I can't say the rest because then he starts saying things that I can't say.
Yeah. So that was pretty impressive. There you
Thanks.
go.
What do you got? You just put me on the spot for that? I thought you were gonna do it.
No, I can't do it.
Oh, you.
I didn't practice. I just made her do
I don't trust you anymore when you slack me late at night about learning rap songs. Anyway, that's it for Unmuted. Remember, you can always hit us up on our socials just to say hi or send us stuff to react to. Someone type in !socials right now so you can see them, and we'll see you next time.
Wait, guys, should Squad do a cover of that Busta Rhymes banjo rap? Let us know if you want to see that happening. Maybe we can make it work. Drop the spicy Lisa emote in chat if you want to see that. Remember, you could get a whole group of Squad emotes by subscribing to us. In the back, AJ and Ron are getting ready to talk to Paintbrush all about OWL. But while they're getting ready, let me get you caught up on everything you need to know in Reported. The Overwatch League is set to make a huge change come Stage 4 if a new report is to be believed. According to multiple sources speaking to Upcomer, the OWL is planning to institute a role lock for the upcoming stage. In this context, the role lock would mean that each team would be required to field 2 tanks, 2 supports, and 2 damage heroes in each match. This was considered to be the standard team composition in Overwatch, but that's changed over the past year. The triple or GOATS meta rose when teams began to pick 3 tanks and 3 healers. This led to less variety in heroes and team comps and wasn't really received well by many in the community. A 2-2 lock would encourage more creativity in player picks, though it's unclear how some of those heroes will be classified under this system. Stage 4 is set to begin in late July, and we'll see if Blizzard will confirm this huge change before it kicks off. Luminosity Gaming is entering Rainbow Six Siege for the very first time by acquiring Pro League newcomers 92 Dream Team. The squad originally qualified for the North American Pro League via Season 9 of the Challenger League, where they earned a direct spot in Season 10 after winning the playoffs. Dream Team is a great pick for Luminosity as they're currently at the top of the league after 3 match days with 2 wins and 1 tie. Apart from Siege, Luminosity has been expanding its roster across several esports over the past year, including a larger Fortnite roster, an Apex Legends team, and a re-entry into Smite. Fans can check out the newest Luminosity team when it faces off against Team Reciprocity on June 26th. It's been less than a week since Dota Underlords launched its open beta, and it's already one of the top 4 games on Steam. Yesterday, the Auto Battler reached a new high of 200,000 concurrent players, surpassing the likes of Rainbow Six Siege and Grand Theft Auto 5. Its peak is also much higher than the peak reached by Valve's previous release, Artifact, which now currently has less than 100 players playing every day. Underlords is popular on Steam, but since it also launched on Android and iOS, the true player count is likely much higher. The Google Play Store already shows that it has over 500,000 downloads. Needless to say, it looks like the Auto Battler genre is only going to keep growing in the months ahead.
Here, Somitsu nearly with the EMP.
Shatter.
The back Shatter comes down, finds Hawks on the Bionade, gets he and Slime, they both fall. Bumper going to be slept. EMP out from Somitsu is huge. It catches 5, but so far only Custa going down.
It won't matter.
Out of the equation. Somitsu is gone. The Bionade hits Bumper, and that is gonna be it. OT ticks away. The Los Angeles Valiant in front of the home crowd are the first team to deliver a loss to the Vancouver Titans in the regular season.
Tanks, supports, and DPS mains, welcome to Esports in 30. If you're a Torb one trick, you're absolutely not welcome. My name is AJ Fry, and this handsome young man to my left is none other than Ronald. I'm Ron Burgundy, Renanthra Lee. Over the next half hour, we're deep diving into Overwatch leagues. We've crossed the halfway mark of this third stage within the exciting second season of the hugely popular esport. Ron, how would you like me to tee you up to make fun of me today?
I mean, I'm just kind of confused with the whole Ron Burgundy thing. I've never seen Anchorman. It's past my time, so a fossil like you has to explain to me what's going on.
Well, there was once a man named Will Ferrell. He was a star on a little show called...
You know he's making an esports movie?
Will Ferrell's making an esports movie?
He's making an esports movie, like a comedy kind of thing.
Shouldn't it be someone younger than Will Ferrell?
I mean, the whole point is like an old dude getting into the sport. He has no idea what's going on. We should look it up. Could be a fun thing to talk about.
We'll try and angle for some cameos in Will Ferrell's upcoming
idea.
esports movie. But for right now, we've got some highlights for you. So put some Fs into chat to pay respects to our editors. We've got Nick and Noah, of course, who never get the credit that they deserve for putting together these amazing highlight reels. Have a look.
Look at all the check marks they've got working on it. Staying in the back line. Oh, Flames! Kareem! Clutch sleep, making all the difference. Shanghai Dragons down. He cancels out the EMP. Now it's a Hail Mary attempt from the Shanghai Dragons. They get the shatter in. But the Valiant pouring on the pressure. There's the grenade. They're trading back and forth. This still favors the defense and the Dragons.
Needs that EMP from RCK, though. Opportunity. Sinatra, picked out of the air by ColorX. What a shot. Oh, gets another one midair onto Super. That's what we want to see, and here comes a barrage now. No trouble at all, ColorX.
They're trying to set up for this one right now. Yep. How good is it going to be for Corey? Here it comes.
He gets done! They saw him coming in. What a play by Birdring. Heads up shield bash. That was sick.
Just on top of that little kiosk. Jinmu gets one before he gets put to sleep here.
Slept and like launched. Like,
oh, that's carnage! He's hacked, he's pushed back. Soundberry even for the Florida Mayhem. Zephyr returns on the Bastion. BQB gets rid of Jake. Rumor trying to stay up and shield Walkus on that backside. He needs the hit. Oh! The Bastion! Surely not! What? This is where it ends! Zephyr back into turret mode now. Boink is struggling. Florida Mayhem have brought the house crashing down. It's just Boink. He's trying to hold on. Dante returns with the EMP and Boink gets the sound barrier. It's 2 versus 3 right now, but BQB falls. Dante finds the kill. Boink is down. Zephyr sitting in the back corner. Fade is very low and Jake returns on the Doomfist now. He's got to be able to touch. But he's not. No! I can't believe it!
With that Earth Shatter still. Oh, Giannis gets a kill to Bedosian though. And now he's got the Primal Rage. Shatter comes in. It's a big one from Gesture. But London need more. Giannis needs some environmental kills. He knocked Gesture off. He got one. He knocked two off. Giannis, what a play! Saving the map for the Washington Justice. What a hero. Giannis makes it happen.
Agility's off from the rest of the team unless the Valiant can find a trade here immediately. DM going down certainly could help things. Gamsu on the edge as well.
So low after that shatter. How can you follow up? Oh my goodness, he does! With about 10% HP, Fact Fiction goes aggro.
Time in action here. Somitsu nearly with the EMP.
Shatter.
The back Shatter comes down, finds Hawks on the Bionade. Gets he and Slime. They both fall. Bumper going to be slept. EMP out from Somitsu is huge. It catches 5, but so far only Costa going down.
It won't matter.
Out of the equation. Somitsu is gone. The Bionade hits Bumper, and that is going to be it. OT takes away the Los Angeles Valiant. In front of the home crowd are the first team to deliver a loss to the Vancouver Titans in the regular season.
It is so nice to see some names and highlights from players that aren't the usual big three. I bet fans everywhere were on quite the emotional roller coaster this week. And here to help us break down all of our confused feelings, we have Revival's very own Nolan Paintbrush Edwards. Welcome back to the show, Nolan.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
So,
how's it going?
You know, the other day I was watching your stream, and I noticed you had a webcam on your head. So
I did.
Before we get into the interview, just tell us, what's it like living in 2077 while we're stuck in 2019?
Sticky. There's actually a lot of residue right here on my headset. So every time I take it off or put it back on, it just kind of sticks and pulls my hair. So not the best year to be in, but it's still pretty cool.
You got to get one of them like Gorilla Pod tripod things
true.
so you can mount
Very
your
true.
webcam not to your face.
I just stick it on my head.
It's good. It's good for the publicity.
Yeah. Now we got lots to talk about, but one of the big things we can touch on quickly here is the leak, the big rumor. It has yet to be confirmed by Blizzard, but that we are moving into a locked 2-2-2 for stage 4. What are your thoughts on locking in 2-2-2 comps?
It'll be interesting. I think we will see a lot of bunker comps played. I'm excited to move away from goats though. Like we've had it for some time now. I know the viewers don't exactly love it, but I like it as a player. But it's always good to have some change.
I think that's interesting that you say you like it as a player. I know a lot of players complain constantly, especially those that are stuck in Brig jail.
Yeah, of course.
Mangachu's like, again, he's like the one guy that enjoys playing that. But from your perspective, it's actually fun, even though you've been doing this for over a year now.
Yeah. So as a Lucio player, it's actually a really, really fun meta to be in. Like boops are actually broken if you're good with them. It's like a really good role to kind of control tempo, and honestly, the macro game, kind of like calling ults, pre-fight planning, it's really good in goats. I like it a lot.
Oh, okay. I mean, Lucio, you say is broken in goats, but I think a lot of the pros in the Overwatch League think something else is much broken right now. We're obviously talking about Sombra, who has really defined this stage in the Overwatch League. But what we glanced over was that Ana has been having quite the resurgence as well. So as a support player, why do you think Ana, of all characters, is also finding more success as of late?
Okay. So specifically in Sombra Goats, you substitute the Diva for Sombra, which means Ana nades and sleeps are entirely free. So any Ana pocket, like all of her shots, her rifle is entirely free. There's no chance of it getting blocked aside from barrier or LOS. So there's a lot of value for like purple nades. Dodging EMP and using Nano to survive EMP or just kind of rushing with Nano is a very strong play. And then on top of that, since a team playing Sombra Goats wants to kind of play slow and just play to farm EMP, Ana has a lot of value compared to Zen. So Ana can sustain the enemy team's damage longer. He can bring more survivability to the game, and it's actually a lot stronger into DPS as well.
Oh, wow. A lot of good insight there.
Yeah. Well, let's talk one of the other big stories coming out of the league this week. Obviously, Titans finally falling, not to the Shock in the Stage 2 playoffs, but in fact to the LA Valiant, the only ones to bring them down so far. So what is this new key to the Valiant success? What have they been doing that has given them this edge over the so far undefeated Titans?
Okay. So I was actually watching back the Dorado map specifically. It was map 1 in the set. And from their past games, it just seemed like they were playing much more as a team. They seemed very decisive, very quick. It seemed like they were responding to each other quite well. There was actually quite a few fights where maybe the Zarya was 95% to grab, or maybe their Zen was close to trance. Valiant would pop grab and hard focus the Zarya or Zen down, which is a really good sign of good team coordination and ult tracking. So that was very impressive compared to some of the past games they've had. Tempo shifting was very strong in that game. And overall, I think Shaxx played very well on the Sombra, as well as Kariv on main support. Flex support. His Ana was actually insane that game. I think on Dorado alone, they won 2 to 3 fights just off of sleeps.
Yeah, for sure. I think Kariv pretty much had the game of his life.
Yeah.
If he was ever underestimated, like, sometimes he goes to the bench for Izayaki on Valiant. They had some issues finding their starter. I think that more or less cemented his position.
Yes.
I can't imagine them putting Izayaki back in now that Kariv is like the star of the team, more or less.
Well, kind of found his mojo.
I wonder if you guys will have different opinions or answers to this question, because we've seen kind of a stale meta story within Overwatch League the past couple of stages, with the dominant teams just remaining at the top. There haven't been a lot of teams moving up and down the ladder, so to speak. But now we're seeing LA Valiant. They won their last 2 games. They're going up against the Spitfire and the Spark moving forward. Do you think that these guys could ultimately climb their way to being a top 5 team from where they were sitting at like bottom 5?
Interesting.
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
why?
I have full faith in the roster. I'm a big fan of Fact Fiction and Shax, of course, coming from Mayhem Academy.
A little biased.
Yeah, a little bias, a little bit. You know, I'm trying to peel that bias back as much as I can, but at the end of the day, I do truly believe they're both insane players, and I believe they have a very strong coaching staff, especially since they did snag 2 of my past coaches from Mayhem Academy. So, you know, even a little more bias there, but I believe in everything they're doing there, and I'm excited to see the next 2 games.
What do you think, Ron? Are we going to see these guys actually make it to top 5?
Are
they going to dethrone the LA Gladiators as the #1 team out of LA?
I think for sure their coming up games against Spark and Spitfire, looking at a couple of weeks back, people might have been like, oh, that's a rough schedule.
Right.
I definitely believe that they can win those games. It's within, more so than just within the realm of possibility. I think it's fairly likely. So
Really?
I'm with Paintbrush here. I think they're in like top 8 territory. Only time that will tell exactly how far up they climb, but I'm optimistic for maybe even top 4.
All right.
Agreed.
Well, another team that is looking to fight their way out of bottom tier, Florida Mayhem, they actually picked up their 2nd win against the Houston Outlaws, who just took down the Shock. So it's all kinds of upsets happening now.
Now we're tied for last with Justice. That's amazing. Yeah, but you know, I watched that series and I was impressed by Saya player on Widowmaker. You know, like he gets a lot of praise for his skill, but we haven't seen him being able to kind of flex that with Goats being the meta once again. But Hogopun too put up a stellar performance on Zenyatta, Ana, and even Roadhog and earned player of the match. So Paintbrush has worked a lot with these guys. I'm curious, do you think they finally captured that magic in a bottle? Is all Korean finally going to work out for Florida Mayhem?
I'm very optimistic for them. I think we're going to see a steady climb moving forward. I'm not sure how the rest of Stage 3 will close out. I think they'll catch a few more wins in Stage 4, but ultimately I think we'll see a lot of the progress actually made in Season 3. I didn't actually get to watch the Hollywood game with Saya, but I've heard like very, very strong things about his play on that map. So just knowing him as a person, I'm very, very happy for him. He's a very cool, very, very nice individual. So I'm glad that he's, you know, kind of getting back in there and getting out of the brig jail a little bit.
So how
very
much
happy for Hago as well.
Yeah, I mean, like we both love them, and I'm curious as to what makes you think that they're going to find more success now? Is it the inclusion of new players? Is it the new staff? Or is it just they had the time to work things out?
I think they've had the time to work things out. I think as the new players and new staff obviously helps. I think that was definitely needed. But I think the ultimate thing is they just need time right now. Goats was a very synergy-dependent meta. You needed a lot of playtime together. You really needed to trust your teammates. And maybe in the mixed roster where there wasn't as much trust as there should have been, they couldn't really find that success. So I definitely think that put the team kind of in a slump. Maybe it hurt any optimism for wins or their mentality going into games. So I think getting these wins, the 2nd win specifically, is going to help snowball their progress forward.
Wow. Well, what about the Houston Outlaws? I mean, they had to be feeling so up after taking down
the Shock, right?
Yeah, the mighty Shock, and then falling to Mayhem.
To Mayhem,
yeah, of course. I'm sure it stings.
Yeah, well, what is their mentality going to be moving forward? Can they come back together? Is this just like a small hurdle that they've stumbled over? Can they recover?
Yeah. They definitely can. I believe it's a small hurdle. You know, there's a good saying I'm sure you guys know about. GG, go next. That's really all there is to it. You know, you can't win them all. It sucks it went that way, but I'm confident that they'll bring it back after that game.
So on topic of Houston, there was some recent drama with Flame and Monte Cristo about whether or not they should have picked up DPS earlier. In your opinion, do you like Houston's more flair for DPS as of recent? Is it better for them?
Yeah, I do like DPS. I think it was a good move. I don't knock them for hesitating on it at all. I think there's no wrong in that decision. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes. We don't know why those decisions were made. So I'm just excited to see that they're making things work out for them.
Well, one team that has been making moves, definitely, in terms of moving away from the standard 3-3 and into the Sombra 3-3, the NYXL, battling against the Spitfire. Why are we seeing Sombra so utilized in this current stage, and why do you think NYXL have really stuck to her?
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and say what every player in this game says, broken hero. I mean, I don't necessarily believe that personally. I mean, she is broken, so yeah, I do believe that. But the fact of the matter is she's in the game, so there's no reason not to play her. But the Sombra ult cycle, whether you're playing Sombra Goats or any form of DPS with Sombra, is very, very, very aggressive. Essentially, EMP is a guaranteed fight win if you play it right. So no matter what happens leading up to that EMP charge, you're basically going to at least win that fight. At least you should, in theory. There are ways to get around it, and you've seen like a lot of good teams have planned around it very well. Specifically, Valiant, they were playing around EMP very, very well. KSF on Zarya was dodging a majority of EMPs to get bubbles off. Custa was landing his beats on EMPs. So I think the hero is just strong. The fact that you can disable players for such a long period of time and you can chain hack people. You can, I mean, if you go in with Graviton Surge, let's say you're playing Sombra Goats versus Goats, your Sombra can go into the backline, hack the Zen, and they don't even commit trance because he's hacked, and then you just win the fight with Grav. And I think she's very strong at controlling tempo as well.
Is this 2-2-2 lock really going to affect the utilization of Sombra moving forward?
No.
No?
Oh.
No. No.
Ron was kind of nodding.
I think she will still be a mainstay in the meta.
Yes.
But I think she definitely has a little bit of an easier time farming things like EMP against like tank heavy lineups.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah. So
if you're down one tank,
you know, a little bit less the charge going around, obviously. But she still has, you know, that infinite stealth that's very hard to deal with. She preys on chaos, and in a 2-2-2 composition, there's always going to be more chaos. I think she'll still be utilized, but just in a different way, and still be popular.
Okay.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
That was a very nice agreement.
That's why we're on the same team.
Like hoping for some conflict and controversy here, some argument.
Both big brains.
Like, oh yeah, so I consider your thoughts. All right, let's talk about Atlanta. Rain. They're not raining over anyone.
Yeah, not raining on much nowadays.
It's a misnomer for sure. These guys, they've been going, you know, to match 5 or map 5.
Right?
Yeah, but just not able to hold anything down. So what is holding these guys back? Why haven't they been able to come out on top?
Honestly, I don't know how the map 5 dynamic is for them. I don't know if maybe players are getting a little hectic, a little chaotic in comms. Maybe they're making one too many mistakes that close out the map. That doesn't allow them to close out the map. But honestly, the fact that they're taking certain teams to map 5 is a good sign. And I think the best thing for them is to just keep focusing and not letting it get to their head, and just keep moving forward.
I think you know, the Rain and the Outlaws have something in common where we see them have like so much potential and always push a lot of teams all the way to map 5 just to fail. You know, in your career, Paintbrush, how do you bounce back from something like that? Just being on the cusp of victory but not being able to snatch it away.
It's hard, I'll admit. It's kind of a gut-wrenching feeling. You feel it, and in the map, specifically, I think 2 seasons ago against Fusion Uni, there was a Tracer on cart, stalling cart, and you feel it in your bones. You're like, we're gonna win this set. You're getting all excited. You're maybe slipping up, letting the emotions get to you a little bit, and then the Zenyatta comes through and kills 3, and you lose the fight. You lose the set. It's very unfortunate.
You can't blame Alarm. He's that good. You know, can't feel too bad.
I've gained a lot of respect for Alarm over the seasons playing against him, but you know, again, the good old generic gamer saying GG, go next. There's really nothing else you can do. It sucks. You can review your mistakes, but if you let it eat it up and get to your head, it's not going to help you at all.
I mean, you know, Fusion Uni lost in their 5th map against Runaway, so I'm sure Alarm's probably feeling similar feelings right now. You guys could have a cup of tea and talk about it.
Well, someone else who's feeling very similar feelings is Cruz from Paris Eternal after they were reverse swept by Boston there, and
he's rough.
We did see that moment in, you know, Afterwatch, or Watchpoint, I should say, where he kicked the desk and threw
slammed his mouse.
His mouse.
Very visibly upset.
What do you think about people letting their emotions out like that? You know, as a pro player, Paintbrush, is that just? I mean, it obviously wasn't directed at a person; it was just material. And you know, if we're watching, you know, hockey or football, there's obviously a lot of. You know, physical release of tension on the field. What do you think about when it comes to esports? Is this something that we're going to see more of? Is this something that's acceptable?
Yeah, is it good? Is it healthy?
It's definitely a tough one as far as the argument of it's good or it's healthy. In my opinion, I don't think anyone should knock him for it. And honestly, personally, I don't think it's a bad thing. I do think we need to control our emotions as players, but that honestly doesn't bother me. At the end of the day, we're humans. We do have emotions, and quite honestly, like, we're putting our heart and souls into this game. This is everything to us, and as a player, all we want to do is win. So, you know, when you're going through that set and you feel like you have it, and maybe you make one mistake, it can get to you. I don't think anyone should knock him for it, and honestly, if anyone did want to kind of like rip into him a little bit, I would kind of challenge them to put as much time and energy into this as players do, and you know, kind of see how it feels.
Yeah, especially you're both captains too and shot caller, so a lot of responsibility falls onto you there. It can't be easy to swallow a loss when you've been so close, right?
Yeah.
Must be gut-wrenching, like you said.
Very true.
And though this is a relatively new sport in the grand, you know, scheme of things, Cruz has been doing this for a while. He's been, you know,
one of the veterans.
So you know, as a leader, it's a lot on his shoulders. So it's understandable he would be under that pressure. Now, you were under a bit of pressure fighting against XL2 the other day. A big 4-0 loss. Probably wanted to slam your mouse yourself.
Yeah.
So what are you guys going to be working on to improve going into your next game against Tea Party?
Well, before I get to the improvements, I'll definitely say with this loss, I can empathize with Cruz quite well. So as far as our improvements go going into Team Party, I think the important thing is just continue building trust with each other. There was a lot of situations where it was clear we weren't playing as a team, kind of responding to each other. I think we'll review comp swaps a lot more. There were a few situations where we were not necessarily surprised, but we kind of got caught up in the moment. We knew how to react to the DPS comps that they were playing. We just couldn't execute at the time, so we'll have to review that quite well, or pretty hard, pretty extensively. It's a tough one. There was just a lot of individual mistakes from people. I know specifically for me, there was a setup we had on Nubani. It was very last fight. It was on our OT defense. They needed one tick to cap, and we were set to hold the map and start the reverse sweep. Monty and I actually set up a double boot to get them off high ground, displace them, farm grab, and close out the map. But as we fell off high ground, I kind of clipped the ledge, and the wall ride kind of launched me back into the team. So I got caught out, and that mistake right there, that's kind of what really bothered me. As a player, you know, you play relatively well the series, maybe you make a few mistakes here and there, and then to be the person that makes that critical mistake, that last fight situation, it really can get to you.
Yeah, it kind of makes you want to kick a desk, huh?
A little bit. Makes you want to flex out, but you know.
Yeah. Kind of makes you want to wall ride away from them.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
Well, actually, it is time for you to do just that. Thank you so much for joining us, Paintbrush. Good luck to you and Revival in your future matches. Hope you'll be back on the show to spill the tea with us whenever we can catch you again. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers. Thank you very much, guys.
He was great, and I totally forgot to mention that he's got a fantastic Revival sweater on right there.
Yeah, buy it now. It's revival.gg/something. I forgot the URL.
That's enough shameless self-promotion right there. We got a couple of Overwatch general topics to cover here, Mr. Ron. Number one, they just added subtitles to the PTR.
Yes.
Now, as someone who played a lot of Left 4 Dead 2 back in the day,
Me too.
I remember how critical the subtitles actually could be.
So useful.
Yeah, when like monsters would spawn, you might not hear it, but you could see the little like, oh, there's a spitter that just spawned.
Boomer gurgles or
exactly, that sort of thing. So I remember fighting this guy in Taro all the time. It was just so good. I thought he was hacking, and then he mentioned like, oh, you got to put subtitles on, and then it tells you what's happening. You're like,
might as well be a cheat. Might as well be. And that's where I'm gonna stand. I'm gonna think, you know, great for accessibility, but I'm gonna say that more like people that can hear are actually gonna be using this to get the competitive edge.
Are there levels to the subtitles? Because I don't need subtitles for like if someone's spamming the Doomfist line over and over and over.
It's like
again.
Critical info only.
Okay.
Critical info and voice lines and stuff like that, and then none at all. So most people will probably turn on critical info because it's useful.
How are they going to handle it when it comes to Overwatch League? Is this something that we're actually going to see the pros putting on, or are they just
the pros will have whatever setups they have on their end. We won't be able to see through their eyes, but I'm sure a lot of pros will be utilizing it, just like a lot of pros use colorblind mode to help with, you know, certain things sticking out. Like I know, like Apply in Revival, he plays with like bright yellow for allies and like a like a really bright teal for enemies or something.
Oh.
So it's also our branding colors, coincidentally.
Okay.
But yeah, he finds it super useful, but when you play it on stage, you'd never see that thing at all.
Managed to bring it back to Revival
It's
once
all
again,
about me.
Ron.
It's all about us.
Esports in 30s, now sponsored by Revival.
We should make that happen.
Okay, well, let's have a deeper dive into this whole 222 potential.
Yeah, it's a big
It
news.
seems like it is all but confirmed by Blizzard at this point.
Yeah, just need the official word and that's about it, but everyone's saying it's coming.
Yeah, personally, I am not excited about this.
I'll
I
fight you
think
on
that's fine. That's what I'm here for. I saw a much better solution proposed on Reddit that I thought was brilliant, and that is preventing more than 2 supports.
Okay.
Locking it at 2 support characters per team. Sure. Otherwise, you can do pretty much whatever you want.
Okay.
And I think that's great because it gives you the opportunity to run like a single Mercy, however many tanks.
You still do triple DPS.
You still do triple DPS.
Okay.
I don't like the 222 because it just prevents all those like sneaky spur-of-the-moment strategies that could potentially evolve in this game as we continue to add more and more heroes.
Sure.
Locking it in restricts the freedom, restricts the available possibilities for weird concoctions to upend the game entirely.
I think that's a fair criticism. I have 2 ways to rebut that. The first is I think...
And only 2 because you've been locked in.
Yeah, exactly. Only 2. But, when we are doing complete open-ended gameplay, right?
Yeah.
Even though in your solution, if you were to lock 3, you wouldn't be able to do 3 support.
Yeah.
You can still have goat shenanigans by doing things like Moira Lucio, where you just kind of really compound on the healing
but
to
you
enable
don't
the
have
tanks.
the buff of the Brig and that
wouldn't
demand
be as
for
strong.
staying so tight, right?
Right, but the 3 tanks would still be very powerful and it would still be less engaging to watch. So that's my first argument. The second would be that simplicity is key. We don't want to add little nuances like that to the game that can make Overwatch any more difficult to access as it already is. It's already kind of hard to watch for newcomers. Whereas if we do 222, not only have the developers gone on record saying it makes balancing easier, so we get less problematic things like Brig for 1 year in the future.
I don't think anyone predicted GOATs would happen when they
Surely
introduced
not. No.
Brig to
right.
the roster.
Yeah.
So I can understand that from a developer perspective. I just, from a player perspective, want the freedom. I want to see those moments where the teams like suddenly are playing some ridiculous comp.
There's like
no, but it's always just going to be
DPS heroes.
Oh wow, they picked they're running Torb Sim as their 2 DPS. That's wacky.
You never know. I mean, we saw Florida like this weekend swap off goats for the last point of Gibraltar against Houston, as Houston was about to really shove that payload all the way to the end. Zephyr from D.Va went to Bastion, right? I mean, you're saying they can't do that anymore, but the DPS character could also switch to Bastion. Nothing's stopping him from doing it.
Right.
So we still get that variety.
Is there any potential chance that they're gonna, list, say, Roadhog? Like a lot of people call him just a fat DPS. Could he be put in sort of a nebulous zone of like you can have a comp where you have
like a special subcategory where either could play?
Yeah, because I mean originally there were 4 categories before Sim got moved into support.
Yeah, it was offense, defense, but not just damage.
Tank, and support. Yeah. So could we see a potential in this 2-2-2 where some heroes get flagged as like, okay, this guy, because like Mei is kind of a soft tank in certain ways also.
Yeah, again, simplicity is key. I think we just keep it 2-2-2, and then introduce a lot more tank options that serve more damagey roles, which we've been due for that for a while. All our tanks are rather defensive in nature. The one offensive one in nature is maybe Wrecking Ball, but he doesn't seem like he was going to be a main tank in the first place, right?
All that threatening of the tanks.
Exactly. Yeah.
But
like we're gonna get a big boy soon that's more offensive oriented. I'm positive to enable kind of more DPS-y playstyles if 2-2-2 is a thing. I promise you.
Are we due for another tank next? I thought we were getting.
Yes, we are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think we're due for a tank next for sure. Because we got Wrecking Ball around the time of finals last year, and since then we've had like 3 releases since him, so it makes sense to rotate the category back.
Right.
Right. I'm not entirely sure, but I
was going to ask. I mean, given the rise of Sombra,
Baptiste.
Yeah, Baptiste was the last one. So yeah, we are in line for another tank. So will it be a tank that maybe has a bit of a specialization in doing spy checking? Because ultimately, if Sombra is the new meta, and really to counter Sombra, you're going to need a Mei or a Winston.
Give him a turret gun, kind of like D.Va, but also give him a shield. Just tune it in the way they're unique and kind of allow them to not occupy a unique space in the meta that serves a certain role, but doesn't push away others. Yeah, I think having let's say a main tank with the turret gun plus Devo. You can spy check all you want.
Or
Just
a
give
main
him a
tank with, like,
defensive
a sonar ability.
Yeah,
or
I love it. Yeah, let's talk to Blizzard, get those patented down, get you some cash in your pocket.
All right, coined it right here. That's all we got for you on Esports in 30 today. Thank you to Paintbrush, thank you to Ron. Tomorrow we've got an FGC and Smash doubleheader with Brody and Drew, which of course will be live right here on Squad. Till then, hit that social button, and we'll see you all in the future.
What do you guys feel about the possible change in the OWL? I mean, shouldn't this have happened maybe at the end of like this season into the next season, or possibly on the break? I don't know, it's weird. Let us know in chat what you guys think. Remember, we're back tomorrow starting at 8 p.m. Eastern with more Unmuted, and in Esports in 30, Drew and Mercer are shaking things up because it's a double feature of FGC. Smash and Tekken's coming to you tomorrow. Plus, we have an in-depth look at Rockstar in Game Files. But if you want more of us, well, you could have more of us on our socials at Squad State. And if you missed anything, we'll check out our VODs on YouTube as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you soon.